I had a feeling that Rohit Sharma would have handed over the captaincy to Pollard. So says former player Sanjay Manjrika. We also see where former Australian all-rounder Shane Watson, he has actually given his top 5 best current test players, test batsmen that is, and I must tell you, his list is really turning heads, so we're going to take a look at it.
This I wanna nail sports to the phone. Top blogger, top YouTube channel. No matter which sports, yeah, we got it covered. Subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Hey, what's up my Sports to the Bone family? A blessed morning to you all and welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are doing okay. So as you heard at the top of the video, there are 2 interesting stories to take a look at, and we're going to start things off with the Pollard one. So apparently Sanjay Manjrika had predicted before the 2022 season of the IPL started that Rohit Sharma would have given up the captaincy for Mumbai Indians, would have handed it over to Pollard, right? Similarly to what Virat Kohli would have done. Now, he recently spoke again, and he addressed the same thing, saying that he thought it would have been it would have been ideal for Rohit Sharma to hand it over to Pollard so as to take a little break and to ease himself a little and perform purely as a batsman. So we're going to go down through it. I have a couple of quotations that I took from the article, so you will get well, not a first and a second hand feeling of what Sanjay was actually saying. You understand? He was actually speaking to ESPN Cricket Info, and he was asked about Pollard's poor run of form. So that is how the conversation came back up when he was asked about Pollard's poor run of form. As we know, I think Pollard would have played 4 innings so far, and he has only amassed maybe about 47 runs, or at the time of this article, that is what he would have played, 4 innings, and he would have amassed a total of 47 runs. Now, Sanjay Manjrika is quoted as saying, and I quote, he is still valuable. He still provides a lot for Mumbai Indians, right? He say he still provides value to the team. So, the Pollard is still needed according to him. He went on to say, and I quote, before the season, I even predicted or considered giving Pollard captaincy. He went on to say this would actually allow Rohit Sharma, as I said at the beginning, to basically settle down, relax a little bit, and play purely as a batsman at the top of the order. So you would have Pollard coming in the middle order. Well, he's basically playing as a specialist batsman now because he hardly even bowl. So he would have to focus on his batting just the same, and then the captaincy, Pollard, that is. Went on to say, and I quote, I don't want anybody to think that I am making things up. So I quote, Pollard is a wonderful international captain, and the baton could have passed on to him from Rohit Sharma. You understand? I'm not sure what the records are like where that Sanjay Manjrika is looking at, where international white ball cricket is concerned for West Indies. I'm not sure what sort of record he's looking at. You understand? But they are the experts. So he says that the captaincy could have passed on to him because he's an excellent international captain. So I will leave it right there. The thing though, my viewers and subscribers, is Rohit Sharma would have won, I think, about 5 titles for Mumbai Indians. So, if he did not say, here what, I am going to step to the side, I'm going to step back and allow somebody to deal with this, scene that I am dealing with India, with the international team, India's international team. It would be very difficult for them to just take it from him, because as I said, the man is producing. He would have delivered the most titles, if I'm not mistaken, the most IPL titles, and more often than not he produces with the bat. So if he after this season they might look at it and say, boy, Rohit, seems as if it's a little bit, you might be burnt out, so probably ask somebody else to do it. But you see, the funny thing about it is that Pollard would probably be next in line, but he will definitely need to come up with some good performances throughout the rest of this tournament. You understand? Because he's one of the pillar of Mumbai Indian franchise, Rohit Sharma, from here Mumbai Indians, I hear Rohit Sharma and Kyron Pollard, these guys basically, and I think Bumrah, these guys basically, they are always there. So Pollard will definitely need to get himself back up and running if his name is going to be in the mix, because I am always of the belief that you pick your best 11, and out of the best 11 you find a leader. That is how I see it. And it goes to international cricket also. You have some big teams, say for example like England, sometimes they might search for a captain, and the captain might not even be somebody that is really able to make the final 11 easily, because they are currently thinking about captains for the England team now. And a few names that I hear coming up, they are saying that these guys will definitely be able to lead the team and will be able to, when teams are going through a process and transitioning, if the team is that solid and that strong enough, and you need a good character that you think is a leader, then you might be able to bring in one. But I am always for the captain being able to make the team. If he's a specialist batsman, he should be performing. If he's a bowler, all-rounder, same thing. He should be performing. You understand? So that is how I see it. So if Mr. Polly wants his name to be up there, then he will have to lift his performances. That is all I'm saying. But Rohit Sharma is one of the bigger guys in India cricket right now. He would have delivered them quite a few titles. So it's going to be extremely difficult to just up and take it, even though he might be going through burnt out. You understand, with the India job and all of that. So yeah, that is basically what I wanted to share. Just let me know in the comment section what you guys think about it. Do you all think Pollard stands a chance of getting this gig maybe next season? Let me know what you think about that. Alright, so the next topic that I want to talk about, former Australia captain, all-rounder Shane Watson, somebody that I really enjoyed watching. He was good, both with bat and ball. Shane Watson, that is. And recently he named as recent as I think yesterday or the day before, he named his current top 5 test players. And I must say that the 5 that he selected, I don't necessarily agree. The order that he put them in, I don't necessarily agree. Plus, I think that one person is in there that shouldn't have been there. And I respect his opinion, you understand, but I'm not sure if I agree. So I'm going to give you the 5 that he selected, and then I would give you my top 5 based on what I see happening in Test cricket right now. So he went ahead and he said that Virat Kohli is number 1. For sure, number 1. That is what he said. Virat Kohli is number 1 in Test cricket right now for him. And as I said, I respect a man's opinion, so I'm not going to tear down what he's saying. But this is what I'm saying now. I am not too sure how he got there. Over the last 2 to 3 years, Virat Kohli numbers, they are not really stacking up. And as I said, what we call not performing for him is basically what a lot of cricketers would want. But when you're talking about a top 5, you have to be careful. So yeah, as I said, he had Virat Kohli at number 1. Yeah, believe it or not, Virat is still number 1 for him, for Shane Watson. Then he had Babar Azam at number 2. I must admit, Babar Azam is currently racking up the numbers. He's doing his thing, and I really like him as a player. But I will definitely give you my top 5, and then you will hear what I am thinking. He also mentioned Kane Williamson, Joe Root, and Steve Smith. So those are the guys that made up his top 5. Right, he went for Virat Kohli, Babar Azam, Williamson, I think Steve Smith, and Joe Root. So those are the 5 that he named. These are all 5 good cricketers, quality cricketers. So before the fanboys of these players come after me, just listen to what I'm saying now. I am not saying that the West Indies players are better than all of these guys, because I know the reasoning of some persons, and sometimes when we talk about things like this, the first thing they will do is attack the team that a particular person, that say for example I'm doing the video, they will attack my team. So I know some of the fanboys of some of these players will miss the point and will stray and say, well, nobody from West Indies is better. But that's not the point. we're taking a look at Shane Watson's top 5, right? So not even going at that. Anyway, so those are the guys that he said. And as I said, I respect all of these players and they're all quality players. But based on the cricket the test cricket that I am watching over the last 3 years, this is how my list would go. My top 5 would go. I would have Steve Smith, Marnus Lamashane, right? And it can be up and down, up and down. I am not going off the ICC rankings right now, so I don't know who is at the top or who is at the second. But I for sure can say, based on the test cricket that I am watching over the last 3 years, this is how it would go, right? Steve Smith probably, and Marnus Lamashane, Joe Root, right? Those 3 would definitely be up there. Williamson and Williamson and Babar Azam. So for argument's sake, I would maybe do the top 5, something like this, right? Maybe I would go Steve Smith, Marnus Lamashane, probably I would go Kane Williamson, maybe Joe Root, and then Babar Azam. I would probably go something like that. You know, but as I said, we respect everybody's opinion, and these guys are people that would have played the game at the highest level and are now analysts and different things. So I guess they're looking at different things from what I am looking at. You know, I know that some of these names that I call, they are not as technically gifted or technically sound, or they are probably not as pretty. Maybe we should say this. They are probably not as pretty and fluent in playing their shots as a Virat Kohli. But if we are going to look at the numbers and to determine who would rank above who, because if you don't use numbers, then you know everybody would just give their opinion and anybody can be on the top and anybody at the bottom. So as I said, all the 5 guys that he named, the Virat Kohli, Babar Azam, Williamson, Steve Smith and Root, those guys are all quality players. But as I said, I would go Steve Smith, Marnus Lamashane, probably Williamson, maybe Root and Babar Azam. That is how I would go. So I am not too sure how he got Virat Kohli and Babar Azam at 1 and 2. But as I said, everybody have their own opinion. But yeah, that's basically it for this one, my viewers and subscribers. Did a little bit of ranting in the video, but I don't know it go. When we're you know tackling somebody else's opinion. You know, so yeah, that is it. Let me know what you think in the comment section about this one, guys. You can go ahead and give me your top 5. Disagree, agree. Do you agree with Shane Watson? Do you disagree with him? Do you agree with mine? Do you disagree with mine? There are a whole lot of other good test players out there, so you might find a man give a totally different top 5. You understand? That's why we say we have to respect everybody's opinion in the thing. But that is it for me from now, my viewers and subscribers. Let's go and big up on yourselves. See? Look more.